If you are someone listening to this who has been in shape before, nearly been in shape before, but couldn't maintain that level of consistency, or fell backwards and or has forever yo-yoed with your shape and or weight, I can almost guarantee that it would have been down to not having an environment, culture, or community that supported those new standards, those new habits. So in this episode of the Kirk Miller Podcast, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 reasons why community is absolutely key when it comes to mastering long-term change. Because it's no coincidence that since we have really took our community and culture to another level inside Built to Last the last 3-4 years, we're getting better results than ever. With guys who are in their late 40s and 50s who are busy, travel, kids. I'm getting better results with these guys than I did in my early coaching career, where I was training 20-year-olds who could eat 7 times a day, train twice a day. Okay, and the reason for that is the community and the culture we've created inside Built to Last. So in this episode of the Kirk Miller Podcast, I'm going to share with you 10 things to think about and 10 reasons why, if you don't have a powerful community, culture, and environment, you need to create one if you want to master long-term behavior change. Because, as I've said many, many times before, it's absolutely pointless getting in shape if you can't stay in shape. I'm sure if you listen to this and being transparent with yourself, you don't want to be inconsistent. You don't want to be off it, okay? And one of the things that's going to help you never be that person is making sure your environment, who you surround yourself with on a day-to-day basis, is setting you up to win, all right? You must make sure that all the pieces of the puzzle are in place to stick. We need to build the body, condition it, and then make sure we have an environment that supports those standards. Number one, for me, a powerful community, or having one, nothing influences your habits more than the community you surround yourself with. If I was to think about my early days as a footballer, where I was trying to be an aspiring footballer, I'm at Coventry from the age of 10 to 20. If I look at the environment and the community, technically the culture I was surrounding myself with during that period, it's no coincidence I got significantly better at football, because every single person in all those teams was a fantastic player. So you're forced to step up. Your sharpness, your discipline, your consistency, your work ethic, it was just the norm, okay? And it's no coincidence when I left Coventry that I started playing semi-pro, I slowly but surely started to get sloppy. You're not as sharp. Of course, you're not in a daily training environment where you're training most days. You know, when I played semi-pro, you train a couple of times a day. But it still highlighted to me that, you know, ultimately the players I was surrounding myself with weren't as good. So slowly but surely you lower to that standard. Okay, because what was interesting during that period is when I left Coventry, I remember playing my first semi-pro game a few months afterwards, and I'd barely been training, if I'm honest. I'd just been in the gym lifting weights, but I still felt like 10 levels above every single player on the pitch when I played my first game or 5, you know, for the semi-pro. But then slowly but surely, you get a little bit sloppy. And of course, you have great banter in these teams still. But my point is, the culture, community, environment that I was surrounding myself with was nowhere near the same standard in that professional environment like I was at Coventry. Okay? And then the same could be said of, you know, how certain gyms have influenced my habits for the better or worse. It was when I went to Future Fitness, my second main gym, that my body went to another level. And it's no coincidence that the people that were within Future Fitness were world champions. Like 80% of the gym was in great shape, from young lads to older guys. You just smelt the different level of intensity, focus and consistency in that gym. And it's no coincidence I took my body to another level, my way of thinking to another level. And the same could be said with business. My business, my quality of service to my clients has gone to a completely different level since I've had great mentors, okay? So what I'm trying to stress is with this first point, nothing is going to influence your habits year round, year to year more than the community and the culture you surround yourself with, okay? And that goes for friends and associates. It's no coincidence, again, that my drinking habits at the weekend were more excessive, as I've shared in previous episodes, when I was surrounding myself with what I call associates. Of course, I'm still friends with some of my many great friends now who I sort of socialised with at that time, but all of these guys have evolved with their habits and they're more disciplined now. We still have fun, but nowhere near as reckless as what we used to. But if I think about some of the friends we used to go out with or associates, again, they just had poorer habits, poorer standards, and eventually conform to those standards. Okay, so number one, nothing influences your habits more. okay, long term than the community and the people you surround yourself with. Number 2, language within environment influences beliefs. Ultimately, the words you speak, the words you hear on a day-to-day basis are shaping your reality. They're shaping your beliefs. And ultimately, your beliefs are the thing that's going to dictate what you are truly capable of with your body, your health, your fitness, whatever it is you're trying to get better at. So it's really, really important that within your environment, your peer group, that the language that you're hearing on a day-to-day basis is positive, it's uplifting, and it empowers the healthy habits you're trying to obviously build. So if the people you surround yourself with on a day-to-day basis, could be your family, could be your friends, could be your colleagues, have limiting language and limiting beliefs when it comes to health, fitness, mindset, or are quite negative when they talk about health and fitness. For example, eating healthy is boring. I can't be asked to go to the gym. Fuck that, it don't matter. Consistently saying the words fuck it, and opting for drinking shit food all the time, then that's going to rub off on you. Okay? So we really, really need to be guarded with the language and the energy we're absorbing, because that is ultimately going to influence our beliefs. And ultimately, when you're trying to stretch identity, how you see yourself, how you describe yourself, okay, your beliefs are going to be the thing that are either going to hold you back, they're going to move you forward in pursuit of that. And this particular point is even more poignant if you are someone listening to this who has never, ever saw themselves as lean, fit, healthy, confident, and strong. If you are that person, even more so, you need to be around people who have positive, uplifting language that are stretching your capabilities and painting a vision that you can become a healthier, leaner, fitter person. Number 3, training and nutrition plan doesn't change behavior long term. Just repeat that. Training and nutrition plans don't change behavior long term. How many times have you thought you've had the perfect training plan, perfect nutrition plan, saw progress, but then maybe when social started kicking in, or you were on holiday and then you tried to get back on it, or maybe around Christmas time, whatever it is, when you feel you tend to be a bit more inconsistent, why is it this training and nutrition plan didn't work? For me, it would have been down to you not having a community that basically realigned your focus and again, just got you back to being consistent. Training and nutrition plan doesn't teach you nothing about your beliefs, your habits, your day-to-day standards, okay? Because if you think about the perfect training plan, I pride myself on writing unbelievable workouts, for my clients, so we squeeze more out of every hour. But even if you train every day, that's probably going to be about 7 hours a week out of 168 hours. Even your nutrition, even if you're eating 3-4 times a day, it's probably going to equate to maybe an hour and a half at most that you're actually eating. Okay? So you not having a powerful community to immerse yourself in, or an environment to surround yourself with outside of those training hours and those times you're eating, is going to influence the way you think and your overall standards week to week, month to month, year round. Okay? Number 4, without a powerful community, okay, you're going to struggle with this. For me, to create long-term change, you need conscious and subconscious accountability. All right? It's no coincidence that the guys who you may have saw on social media or on my website that have produced unbelievable transformations are the people that have immersed themselves into our community more, whether it's on our sort of weekly and monthly Zooms, whether it's just sort of sharing inspiration in the group, or obviously attending our live events. It rubs off. It rubs off, okay? Not only do you want, obviously, to either be holding yourself accountable or perhaps be accountable to another person, whether it's a friend or a coach, but if you have extra conscious and subconscious accountability, that's going to be the thing that sort of comes into your head when you can't be bothered to train, or you just feel like eating shit even though you know it sort of sabotages your goals. The more collective accountability you can have in pursuit of your goals, the more likely you are to follow through, because you're being deluded like you are being deluded if you think over a 12-month period, you're going to be supremely motivated year round. I'm not. Even though I'm obviously one of the leaders of the ship inside Built to Last, what helps me stay even more accountable and consistent is knowing that I have a community of like-minded people who sort of need me at their best, need me at my best, that needs me consistent, okay? And when I see my clients and my team getting sessions done, even irrelevant their travel schedule, even irrelevant of, high demands with business and look a family to look after, that comes into my head and makes me follow through, even though I'm one of the lead coaches, okay? So what's going to really help you follow through and be consistent, ruthlessly consistent, make sure you have conscious and subconscious accountability. And that's going to come from the people you surround yourself with, the people you communicate with, the energy you absorb on a day-to-day basis. Okay, even the things you look up on social media, the people you follow will have a conscious and subconscious influence on you, the way you eat, the way you think, the way you train. Okay, so be very, very guarded with the energy you absorb, okay, if you don't have a community right now. Number 5, a powerful community culture creates an aligned purpose. Right? If you were to maybe think of your business, your mission statement, your purpose statement, or think of any time in your life, the last 5, 10, 20 years, when you really achieved something special with a community or a group of people where your original target vision was just once a dream, but then you followed through and hit it, I can almost guarantee that every single person within that community, that culture, knew exactly what the target was. They had emotional attachment to the purpose, the mission, the intention of that collaborative, work ethic. So be really, really clear within the groups of people you surround yourself with, like, what is our aligned purpose? For example, in Some Built to Last, we're always talking with the words we. We lead the way in transformations that last. We do what's right, not what's easy. We are ruthlessly consistent. We operate with attention to detail. We are never complacent. That's just a few, of course. We're the hardest workers in the room. I want all my clients, for example, to any gym they train in, to be the hardest workers in that room, and it rubs off. But when you've got so many people who you surround yourself with consistently saying these things, it's what we do. We are consistent. We get shit done even when we don't want to. Again, it just rubs off, especially when you're trying to break the pattern of that inconsistency to start with. So make sure that within your environment, your culture, your community, or even a group of friends, whatever it may be, that you have an aligned purpose, that it's just who you are, what you do. Because if you think about it, we have so many aligned purpose sort of mental statements, I suppose, even when we're socializing, when people are out drinking, or they're within football tribes, you have like an aligned mission, aligned purpose, but obviously some of these things that we do in groups of people aren't always positive, okay? But think about what makes being a part of these communities and cultures addictive. It's having that sort of shared mission, where you all know what that tribe stands for, what that group stands for. But if you want to master long-term health, master better habits, be consistent, you need to try and create that when it comes to your health and fitness, right? Have an aligned purpose and speak as we with the people you surround yourself with. Number 6, I think having a powerful community and culture prevents complacency. One of the reasons people fall off it or fall backwards more than what they want to with their health and fitness, or put on weight quicker than what they want to, is because they got complacent. They got complacent with standards, got complacent with their planning, got complacent with, just the way they're setting themselves up on a daily basis. So having a powerful community just prevents that complacency. And again, you don't need to be perfect. I have clients, and myself included, where you have days where you're not quite as sharp, you're not quite as healthy with your habits, but they're minimal. You kill the monster early. So even if you do let loose at a weekend, for example, a little bit more than what you wanted to, or you overindulge a little bit on a holiday or at a special occasion, if you are around a community that really wants to be healthy and consistent, that will stop you getting complacent and falling off track for longer than deep down you want to. Number 7, this is massive. And again, I've spoke about human needs in previous episodes. But number 7, when you give and contribute, you keep your own standards high, right? When I've had conversations with my clients, one of the things that has kept them consistent is actually helping other people and share tips and advice to keep them consistent, the people they're giving advice to. Because you're not then going to contradict that by not doing it yourself, which is why we have obviously a private Facebook community inside Built to Last, and obviously we have the events. And even at the events, we're doing breakouts where people are sharing things that have made them successful, what habits make them stay consistent. It naturally keeps your own standards high, because when you're given advice about what it takes to be consistent or what you do to set yourself up to win, you naturally reinforce that as part of what you do and who you are to actually be consistent yourself. Okay? So that's why, I really encourage that if you are trying to go to that new level of consistency with your health and your body, that, you try and share and help other people do the same. Obviously it ties in with accountability again, but a fundamental human need is contribution. We feel great when we're helping other people. Okay? And we do it in other areas. You probably do it in your business. Notice how that makes you feel great. Notice how good it makes you feel when you're obviously contributing to your family and your kids. Try and do the same with health and fitness. So if you are trying to, for example, create a healthier environment at your home for the family, how can you be the leader of the ship and help the people you love and care about most create that? Even in your workforce, especially if you are the business owner, you're the leader of the ship. How can you help sort of plant seeds and create a new level of awareness with healthy habits within your culture, within your community? Because it's amazing what happens when you do that. You start noticing how good other people feel and how much more energy they have. It just naturally rubs off. And then when people experience more pleasure as a result of doing something new, they naturally want to share it with other people too. So, giving and contributing for me are one of the fastest ways to keep your own standards high. Number 8, powerful community. It creates more emotional pleasure and mental value with your health journey. Okay? It creates more emotional pleasure and mental value with your health journey. Okay? Again, this is nothing against other coaches, because I've been this coach too. But if you have worked with a coach or a trainer before and you had your plan, you had a little bit of personal support, you got your sessions in, you got nutrition in, but you wondered why you got a little bit bored at some point, or again fell backwards the moment maybe you weren't with that coach or that trainer or within that community, I can almost guarantee that there weren't enough emotional pleasure and mental value with that health journey. Remember this, as I've said before, pain will get you started, but pleasure has to be a long-term motivator. So the more emotional pleasure you can have with your journey, the better. And that is why, for me, creating events, creating trainings where you're connecting like-minded people, it increases the value that we give to our clients. They associate more pleasure rather than just looking at it like Groundhog Day, got to get my sessions in, got to get my healthy food in. Okay, if you can create more emotional pleasure and mental value by surrounding yourself with even more people who are part of that journey, then it's more likely to stick. Okay, so ask yourself now, how can I create more emotional pleasure with my health and fitness journey? Can I train with other people? Can I create a group, or who can I join that I know would create more fun with my health and fitness journey? Okay. Number 9 and 10 for me are probably the two most important reasons why you have to surround yourself in a powerful culture, community and environment if you are going to really break the pattern of being off it or having that fuck it mentality from time to time. Number 9, okay, if you've struggled with identity change, like really seeing yourself and describing yourself as someone who is really consistent and in total control of their eating habits and being lean as fuck year round, confident as fuck year round and full of energy year round, then you must use peer group to shape identity. Because if you don't have that, you're going to continually revert to your existing identity. Okay, remember this, the humans, one of the strongest forces in the human race is the need to remain consistent with how you've described yourself up to this date. It's why some people like if they've been in boot camps or things like that, and then they've gone backwards, it's because they've saw themselves a certain way for so many years. And as I've explained in previous episodes, like you have to really expand your identity if you want that body to stick long term, those eating habits to stick long term. Okay, and sometimes you can't do that yourself. Okay, sometimes a coach alone won't quite be enough, as you may have found out before. So that's when you can lean on a peer group where that identity is the norm, to be consistent and not bullshit themselves and get your sessions in even when you don't want to, and eating healthy for 80-90% of your week is the norm, then that's going to rub off. Okay, if you're around people within a certain community, certain environment that have amazing traits that you would love to have, but you feel you don't quite have yet, then you can mirror those people and eventually it rubs off. If I was to say to you, tell me an area of your life that you feel you've really gone to another level in terms of mastering identity, and for many people listening to this, it'll be their career, I can guarantee at some point you had a leader, a mentor, or someone who was an absolute machine in that field who you thought, fuck man, that person or those people, I want to be around those type of people. What do they do? How do they speak? How do they act? How do they plan? Like, what's their level of discipline? And what do I need to do to step up to that standard? Okay? And that's what you need to do with health and fitness. And I really, really believe that this is the thing that people don't respect enough or value. Once people have got that body change sometimes, or they've reached their dream level of body fat, if they then revert back to the environment and the people and the places that created the weight gain in the first place, then what's the point? And that is why so many people fail to condition that new identity and maintain it, because they surround themselves with the people and within the environments that create those unhealthy habits in the first place. Okay? And if you find that your friends, your family, your colleagues don't have healthy standards and don't really value health and fitness too highly right now, then it's even more the reason that you need to lean on people where that identity, that peer group, it's totally the norm. And that brings me on to my last point. It sort of ties in with number 9, really. Number 10 is a powerful community normalizes great health, excellence, and consistency. A powerful community normalizes great health, excellence, and consistency. When you are around people that just have exceptional standards, okay, and refuse to tolerate laziness, like shitty, poor habits, that will rub off, okay? That will rub off. Remember, if you're trying to master the art of long-term behavior change and look the way you want to long-term and give yourself the best opportunity of staying on this earth healthy and create longevity, then you need to be around people that normalizes this as their mission, a level of intent, that conditions consistency. Because then, as I've touched on earlier, if you can't be fucked to get a session in one day, or you feel like eating shit for 2, 3, 4 days, if you've had one day that's gone a bit sloppy, then being in a powerful community that normalizes excellence and high standards will help prevent that. It'll rub off. Okay, it'll rub off. Okay, that'll be the little voice that will sort of chip away in your head. You'll think, fuck man, these guys wouldn't do it, so why am I going to do it? Okay, so for me, make sure you're in a powerful community that normalizes great health, excellence, and consistency from how they think, how they speak, how they show up on a day-to-day basis. Okay, ties in with that thing. It's what we do. Okay, be around people that are doers. Okay, and normalize high standards. And as always, I'm going to end with 3 questions. Number 1, do the people you spend time with influence how you think about health for better or worse? It's a yes or no question. If you were to surround yourself with the same people you currently surround yourself with, in a year's time, is your health going to be better or worse? Is your body weight going to be heavier or lighter? Is your level of confidence, energy going to be higher or lower? Okay? Because if you don't feel confident that you're going to be in a better position, or at least in the same position, then evaluate the people you spend time with. Number 2, when you felt at your leanest and healthiest, who did you communicate with more? Again, success leaves clues, and your life to date is going to demonstrate, if you were to look at the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's going to demonstrate when you were most consistent, when you felt at your best, when you felt leanest and healthiest. Who did you communicate with more? Who did you surround yourself with more? Whose energy did you absorb more? Okay? And again, it might sound a bit brutal. Sometimes friends, family, certain colleagues, you have to really control how much energy you absorb from these people or not. Okay? If they're sort of like rubbing off on you in the wrong way, do you need to simply ignore some of the things that they're saying to you on a day-to-day basis? Or do you just need to limit your time that you spend with these people? Okay? Or do you need to simply step up and be the example a little bit more within these people? Okay? Number 3, which person or people reflects the health and body you wish to live with? So maybe it might be people you follow on social media, might be friends, might be colleagues, might be a community, might be a coaching program that you've obviously looked at and admired. But how can you mirror their traits? How can you mirror their traits more? Okay? Because ultimately, if you can implement and immerse some of these traits into you more consistently across 12 months, then you're going to be in a better position with how you look and feel, of course. All right? But which person or people reflects the health and body you wish to live with? And how can you spend more time with those people, or at least mirror the traits? And just to conclude, there's a great quote by Tony Robbins, which for me really typifies the power of environment, peer group, culture, community, whatever you choose to label what I'm talking about today with. And that is, the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the expectations of your peer group. So your current peer group, what are the expectations of them? Are they go-getters, or are they holding you back? Okay? Are they healthy? Are they consistent? Are they positive? Would you be happy spending the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years with these people? Are you going to have a better quality of life with them? Or, do we need to evaluate that? Okay, so the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the expectations of your peer group. Okay, if there's one advice I'd give to my younger self, is surround yourself with better people earlier. Okay, don't need to be boring. But some people in life, as harsh as it sounds, are go-getters and are high performers, are forward-thinking, okay? They want to squeeze as much out of life as possible, okay? Personally, professionally, financially, physically, emotionally. And some people don't. Some people are quite happy to settle. And that's okay. If you're happy to settle, then cool. But I know the people I coach, they're certainly not those people. I think true high performers don't want to settle. And sometimes they need to elevate the peer group they surround themselves with, that have higher expectations, that force you to step up, okay, and become a better person. And that is it, my friends. Thank you so much, as always, for listening, and I'll see you next time.